Can you tell us what Carey Price was like when he was not yet the best goalie of his generation? Because Carey Price is a legend here. He's just a legend.
Yeah.
He's he's everything that you guys see in terms of a legend. He was like that, like as the 1920. I remember meeting him at training camp, and then he went back to Tri-Cities to play. I got to tell the story before I talk a bit about Carey. It's hilarious. Carey got called up, and at the end of the year, and then I lived with Ryan O'Byrne, Matt D'Agostini, and Kyle Chipchura.
Yeah.
I was the old guy there, and we lived in a little campus. Max Lapierre was living right next to us, and but we said, Carey, why don't you come over to our place for dinner that night? We're at the rink, so Carey was like, okay, because he was staying at the hotel.
Yeah,
just got called up, so we brought Carey over, and the guys had their Xbox, I think it was Chipper. I can't remember what he had, but he had like soccer, World Cup soccer, and all this stuff, and. So they're playing, and I'm sitting on the table, and Steve Gainey just called me that day. He had actually stopped playing already for a year. It was the year he went back to coach with the Blazers. And then he came back and played in pro. But he's like, hey, I heard you guys called up Carey. I go, yeah, he's actually right here. And he's like, yeah, we coached against him in Tri. He was unbelievable this year. I said, yeah. I go, the World Juniors. And I met him at training camp, and Steve's just like, it was a little funny story. He goes, 1985. Montreal called up a 19-year-old goalie, and he to Sherbrooke, and they threw him in net before the playoffs. They won the Calder Cup, and I was like, let me guess, Patrick Waugh. And Steve's like, exactly. And I'm like, and we're starting playoffs in a week, so I'm on the phone. I'm like, hey, Carey, you hear that? 22 years ago, Habs called up a 19-year-old goalie. He won the Calder Cup and MVP. And no word of it, like Carey was like this, and he's playing video games. Like, so that's it? That's all I got to do? Okay. and when we won it, we're celebrating, and I'm looking at him like, son of a gun. He said this 2.5 months ago.